Welcome back, everybody, as we get set for the men's game coming up next. Walter State coming in as the number one seed currently at 10-4 in conference play, 12-4 overall. They've won their last 5. They are 6-3 here at home. They average about 86 points a game. They shoot about 46% from the floor, 32% from behind the arc, and 69.8% at the free throw line, averaging about 37.4 boards per game. Their leading scorer is Demarius Boyd, who averaged 23.6 points a game this year. For ROANE State, they're the number 4 seed no matter what. They come in with an overall record of 6-8, 4-7 in the conference. They won their last game against Chattanooga, pulling one out Tuesday night. They are 2-5 on away courts. They average about 77 points a game. They shoot about 45% from the field, 33% from behind the arc, and they also average about 69% from the free throw line, averaging 34 boards a game. ROANE State at Walter State lost 78-76 in overtime the first time they met in the last few seconds, and the last time they lost at home 92-79. The number 2 seed right now is Motlow State. They are waiting to see what happens between Cleveland and Chat, but most likely Chat, the number 5 seed, like I said, they will face this ROANE State team Saturday afternoon at ROANE State. We'll have that coverage for you at 3 p.m. Then the winner will move into the Tuesday matchup, and that winner most likely coming here to Walter State. Unless Walter State would lose tonight, then they would travel to Motlow. Walter State would still host. They would be the 2 seed. They would host Cleveland. So still some things on the line right now. So Walter State needs a win to get the number 1 seed away from Motlow. They would win in a tiebreaker by beating Motlow, and they beat Motlow 96-93, 100-83, and 65-62. So they would get that if the seeds end up being tied in conference play. So that is a look at tonight's matchup and what's going on with the seeding in the TCCAA Regional Finals. Again, just the one play-in game for the men's side. That'll be Chattanooga playing at ROANE State on Saturday at 3 p.m. So we're just about set to go here. We've got starting lineups, and of course we got to meet the sophomores for the men, and during the halftime of the men's game, they will show the lady sophomores tonight for Walter State. Let's get you to the PA. Here's Jared.
For the starters first for ROANE State. At guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Russellville, Kentucky, number 2, Jacob Naylor.
Jacob Naylor will start.
6'2" sophomore from Cleveland, Alabama, number 5, Micah Fallon.
Micah Fallon will be the other guard.
A 6'8" sophomore from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, number 12, Elijah
And
Cobb.
finally seeing him back on the court for quite a while, Elijah Cobb will be on the court tonight. Austin McKeon and Jalen McCullum.
Tennessee, number 35, Jalen McCullum. The head coach is Randy Nesbitt.
Randy Nesbitt and Alan Holtz, the 2 coaches.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
and now for your Senators.
Senators. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee, number 1, Quan Hale. At guard, a 6-foot
Quan
sophomore
Hale.
from Memphis, Tennessee, number 2, Sly Thompson.
Sly Thompson.
At guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Haywood, Tennessee.
The leading scorer on this squad, Demarius Boyd.
At forward, a 6'5"
Tyler
sophomore from
Haynes.
Union City, Tennessee, number 15, Tyler Haynes. And at forward, a 6'6" freshman from Amani, Louisiana, number 24, Destin Barker.
And
Head
Barker.
coach is Bill Carlisle. His assistant coach,
Carlisle
Darian Jones.
and Darian Jones coaching for the men's side. And we're ready to go. 20 minutes has been put up on the clock. First half action getting underway. Cobb against Barker. Look for the high-flying action to happen tonight. The tap is won by Barker. It'll go back to Sly Thompson, and Thompson will feed it over. And they will set up and get ready to go. Decent crowd on hand, about 50 people here tonight to watch the game. Haynes down low, kicks it out. Thompson going to try 3. First one up, no good. Rebound, Jacob Naylor will feed it up to Micah Fallon, and Fallon will race up court. Feeds Naylor back to Fallon. Micah for the first 3 ball of the night. He's going to knock it down, and ROANE State is out to the early lead with Micah Fallon's 3 ball. These two teams, like I said, played a very tough match the first time around and then lost in overtime for Roane State. Trying to match that three ball off the get-go is Hale, and he missed it by a little bit, and the rebound comes down into the hands of the big man, Austin McKeon. Fallon will race down, feeds McKeon out front. McKeon against Haynes. Feeds Elijah. Elijah moves it around. Naylor fakes the three, kicks it out Fallon, back out Cobb. He looks at three, now sees an opening, turns, spin move, drives in, won't go, tipped out of there Barker, grabbed by McCullum, fed back to Jacob Naylor, swings it around the side. Fallon into the key, outside McCullum going to go for three, and McCullum knocks down a three. 6-0 lead, Roane State out front. That's unusual. The other night they couldn't score right off the get-go against Chattanooga. It took them till the second half to pull that game out. So Walters State now behind. There's a pass that's tipped by Haynes, and it goes into the hands of Cobb. Elijah racing across half court, bothered by a couple of guys. Ball go out of bounds. It was touched by Walters State. It will be Roane State basketball. Again, a really nice move there. And right now, Cobb going to go all the way back to Micah Fallon, who will bring it across the half-court mark against Hale. Coach yelling out to his team, what are you doing? Get in your spot. Not sure what the play was, but that ball stolen away, tipped and grabbed by Boyd, fed up to Thompson, who kicks it back out. Boyd from the wide wing for three, no good. Rebound Cobb, and Elijah pulls it down. He'll bring it down himself. Elijah was working with an injury to his Achilles and lost the dribble there. Ball on the floor, lost. He get it back. He rolls it over to Fallon. Fallon drives in, tries to throw one up. He gets bumped, no good. Haynes pulls down the board. Feeds it over to Sly Thompson. Thompson going to race. He's got plenty of time to get up and off the glass. And the first points for Walters State on the board for Sly Thompson. Quickly cross court for three again for McCullum. Shot up no good. Barker with the rebound. Feeds it ahead Thompson. Outside Hale. Hale stops at the three line. He'll put one up. Bounces around no good. Barker trying to get a rebound, and we get a foul whistled. And it is going to go against Destin Barker, his first.
Entering the ballgame for Roane State, number 24, Alec Kegler.
Kegler checks into the ball game now. And Elijah will sit down for a bit. They don't want to injure him, that's for sure. They know they've got him left for some playoffs, hopefully farther than they went last year, but we'll see. Fallon racing down. Tries a bounce pass, gets knocked away by Tyler Haynes. Haynes will bring it down quickly. Stop and wait for some help, feed it out to Hale. Under 17 to play, 6-2 lead right now, Roane State on top. Thompson, Haynes. Haynes turnaround spin, fade away, jump shot, no good. McKeon with another rebound. Fed ahead to McCullum. McCullum against Haynes, gets in to the lane, feeds down under to Kegler, who's standing there. Boy, that ball came at his face, and Kegler puts up two, and a timeout by Walters State. Quickly, we'll take it, and we'll come back. Stay tuned. Eight-2 is your score right now. Here in the first period of play, 8-2. Down underneath, Haynes lost it. McKeon takes it away from everybody and brings it out himself. Finds Fallon over here on the near wing and feeds it over to him. Driving up, McKeon off the glass, no good, and he reached back for it, couldn't get it. Barker was there to pick it up for Walters State. He'll bring it down the other way. Driving in and good for two. Devontae Williams picks up his first bucket of the night. Trying to get that scoreboard so it's not interfering with you. We'll get that time up there in a moment. Shot is short, no good. And a grab by Barker quickly down to Haynes. Back outside, Williams again. 15:28 left to go. Goes over to Boyd. Boyd here on the near wing. 12 on the shot clock, feeding Haynes. Outside the paint for two, and Haynes knocks it down.
Tyler Haynes.
Driving for the lane, and then the whistle blows.
Fouls on number 15, Tyler Haynes, his first personal foul.
Haynes picks up the foul.
At the line, shooting two, number
Second
35,
foul against
Jalen
Walter
McCullum.
State. Jalen McCullum now to the line for Roan. Jalen's first one is good. 9-6 ball game.
During the ball game, number 10, Juwan Moore.
Juwan Moore checks in now for Roan State. The second one by McCullum is also good. He's got 5 points in the game.
21, Matt Bean.
And Matt Veen also checking in for Roan State. So Veen, McKeon, Moore, Kegler, and Jacob Naylor for Roan State. – 10-6 lead right now for Roan State. Driving in, kicking it into the corner, back out on the wing. Backing up, Slide Thompson
Slide Thompson
for three. And it's a 1-point game. And Kegler lost the ball there. Grabbed by Haynes, racing down. Goes left, goes right, goes up. The follow through is a putback, but it won't count. The foul is on the floor.
24, Alec Kegler.
Kegler picks
His
up the
first
foul.
team first. The line shooting two, number 15, Tyler Haynes.
Haynes will shoot 2 at the line. First one is good. And he has tied the score at 10 apiece, 14-22 mark. And the second one also good. 11-10 right now. Walter State out front for the first time in a while. McKeon here in the corner, feeds it over. Kegler trying to drive in, can't go. Lost the ball on the floor, picks it back up. Tries to dribble drive, and a foul is going to be on Slide Thompson.
Number 2, Slide Thompson, his first team third.
Jacob Naylor will inbound. 14 minutes to go in the first half. 20 on the shot clock. Looking around, still looking around. Going to go over the top for Kegler. Threw too far. Haynes grabs it in the lane. Tyler bring it down himself. Drop it off. Boyd kicks it back to Thompson. And Thompson calls out the play. Boyd pulls up outside the lane for 2. No good. Bean pulls down the board. Matt gets it back from Moore, who feeds Jacob Naylor, who went up for a 3. It's blocked. Bean got the courtesy block and then goes up and puts up 2.
Matt Bean.
And then lead goes back to Roan State. Driving in is Boyd. A whistle blows, though, before he goes to the lane.
Number 21, Matt Bean.
Bean
His
picking
first
up the
team
foul.
second.
Foul on the floor, no shooting. Walter State will inbound. I'll go Barker, outside wing. Out top, Slide Thompson. Runs the play down low. Boyd kicking it back into the wide side for 3 from Williams. Tipped is no good, and out of bounds it goes. It'll go blue.
Entering the game, number 12, Elijah Cobb.
Elijah Cobb checking back in. McKeon going to check out. Elijah will inbound now for Roan State. Like I said, good to see Elijah back in the game. He's been out for a few weeks. He's got the ball here. He'll have Barker on him at front. Ian Moore as Elijah moves around. Moore now looking around. Going to get a screen. He can't go, and then a travel is called against Moore, and they'll whistle it. 13:06 left to go first half. Walter State ball. Coach Carlisle calling out the play for his guys. Swinging out front, Sly looked at three, now goes into the lane. Down low goes Barker, he is bumped there. Elijah right there on defense, and Tyler Haynes couldn't go anywhere. Ball goes out. Long throw at the other end is Veen sitting there all alone, goes up, puts up the shot, missed it. Haynes with the rebound, and then Kegler knocks one loose. Goes out of bounds in front of the bench for Thompson. Haynes checks out. Checking in is Gary Smith Jr. In the corner, Boyd from about 15 out, and Boyd gets his first bucket of the day. Back to a 1-point lead, Walter State. Kegler driving the lane. Going to go up. He's a little short on the lift. Grabbed by Gary Smith. Thompson, Boyd. Boyd at the arc. They'll go Smith. He'll try to go up now. Barker will try to go up. He can't. Elijah's right there in his face. Sly Thompson driving against Jacob. Relief Naylor going to pick up the foul, and he is.
Fouls on number 2, Jacob Naylor. His first, team third. The line shooting 2, number 2.
Thompson will go to the line to shoot 2, his first time to the stripe in a 13-12 ball game with 12 minutes left to go. And the first one is missed. Jalen McCullough enters for Rowan State. And Dangagoff checks in for Walter State now. And he missed them both. And the rebound is by Naylor. Jacob against Sly. And again, Thompson going to pick up another foul. Coach doesn't like that. That's his second.
Second personal foul, team foul number 4.
Fallon's going to check in for Naylor. Thompson going to sit down, and Kwan Hale comes out. Bounce pass in from Elijah to Moore. Moore lost it, gets it back as the team was starting to retreat. He'll feed it out. McCullum tries to go inside. Shot up off the glass is good for Jalen for 2. They take the lead back by 1. Back and forth ball game now. 1-point separation between these two squads. Gary Smith Jr. turnaround at the stripe. Shot up, rattles the rim and falls through for him. And he'll pick up 2 and the lead back to Walter State. Elijah, Veen. Seems like that ball doesn't have an. I don't know why they're having so much trouble dribbling it tonight. Devontae Williams slaps it away. Veen lost it, and then a bounce pass there from Gary Smith right into the hands of Demarius Boyd for 2. Like I say, they just seem to be having trouble dribbling that ball tonight. Moore into the corner. Veen, now he's going to drive in, fakes, looks one way, throws another. McCullum with a big grab there. And then a travel call. Reek over there in the corner was yelling about that ball being out of bounds and the referee not seeing it. He was trying to help him out. 17-14, Walter State on top by 3. Throw into the corner, down underneath. Goff trying to go against Elijah Kent. Now driving up is Williams. Push back. Gary Smith Jr. off the glass, lost the ball on the floor. It's kicked out into the corner for 3, and it's good for Demarius Boyd. And now Walter State goes up by 6, 20-14. Whoa, almost a steal by Smith, but a great grab by Elijah. Feeds Veen in the corner for 3, and Veen will knock it down.
Matt Veen for 3.
20-17. Both teams have the ability to put up really quick points. We're halfway through the first half, 37 points between the two, 20-17. Blocked by Elijah on a Goff. And Elijah will bring it up against Gary Smith. Goes around Smith. Smith all over him. Still no whistle, no foul. Wow. Moore driving in, kicking it out into the corner. McCullum for three. No good. Rebound pulled out of there. Williams. They are letting them bump and play tonight. Boyd again for two. Off the mark. No good. Rebound pulled out of there. Moore. Swings it ahead. Veen down long. Feeds it back McCullum. McCullum going to drive the glass. Left-handed off the glass, too hard, no good. Rebound, pulled down and thrown down court. Williams stops and waits. Gets some help from Hale, and Hale will slow it down and call out a play. 9 minutes left to go, 20-17, Walter State. Boyd, Smith, and now Williams. Williams for three from the outside, no good. Bean with the pull, takes it back in, gets it to his teammates, and Juwan Moore brings it down. Elijah Cobb now with the basketball at the top of the key. Stops, pops the long three ball. And Elijah gets on the scoreboard. Ties the game at 20 apiece. Moving things around, Hale driving in, can't go, bounces it outside. Boyd almost lost it. I think he hurt his ankle there. He's hobbling a little bit. Goff kicks it out to Gary Smith Jr. Puts it up, no good. Rebound. Fought forward, Fallon lost it. Moore grabbed it, feeds it ahead to Veen. It's tipped and knocked away. And I believe that ball is going to go outside. McKeon and Naylor checking in. Veen and Moore going to check out. Tyler Haynes checks back in.
Entering for Walter State, number 15, Tyler Haynes.
So McCullum will inbound. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. 20-20 is our score. Back out, Elijah Cobb. Bounce pass, Fallon. Fed to McCullum, who's trying to get into the lane. The ball gets tipped and knocked out of bounds by Hale. Kegler coming in.
Entering number 24, Alec Kegler.
Jacob Naylor looking to inbound. He'll go back to Kegler. Alec stops his dribble, feeds inside McCullum, and a travel again. As he went to spin, good defense there by a Goff. Exactly 8 minutes to go in the first half, 20-20 ball game. Hale will bring it up for Walter State. They swing it around to the near side, down into the corner for three. Off the mark, no good. McCullum racing for a rebound, and then that ball goes out as Haynes tried to get to it and couldn't reach it. So it'll be Rowan State basketball. Nobody has scored in the last almost 2 minutes. 20-20. Down underneath, here's McKeon, then he'll pick up the first two for Rowan State. And McKeon gets the lead back for the Raiders, 22-20. Boyd going to drive in front of the stripe, stops, pops up the shot. The tip in by Haynes and a Goff.
Tyler Haynes.
They're going to give it to Haynes. 22 apiece, 7 minutes to go. First half action here from Walter State. Bounce pass, McCullum up off the glass. Nice feed there from McKeon. Hale, long court pass, missed it. Taken away by Kegler, racing down left side, goes right into Boyd, puts up the shot, no good. McKeon gets the rebound. Kegler going to back up for three, off the rim, no good. This time a Goff with the rebound. Boy, they are really letting them bump tonight. Kegler almost with another takeaway. Driving is Boyd, up underhand scoop, missed. And this time the foul is whistled, and again it's going to go against Tyler Haynes.
15, Tyler Haynes,
His second.
personal foul, team foul number 5. Entering the ball game, number 10, Jemize Weddle. Number 24, Destin Barker.
Weddle and Barker check back in. Weddle checking in for the first time. And Walter State has a player down on the floor right now. And that is going to be Boyd. So Demarius Boyd down underneath the bucket. His coach and trainers come look at him, and it's the left ankle. So while he's down, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back. Stay tuned. As Demarius Boyd gingerly walks across the floor with the left shoe off. Did something to the foot or the arch of the ankle. I saw him earlier in the corner there seem like he did something to it. So Boyd will sit down and Devontae Williams will take his spot on the floor. 6:18 left to go, 24-22 right now in favor of Roane State. Roane State with the basketball. They will inbound. Walter State will play man-on-man. And guard Micah Fallon coming up the floor with Kayvon Hale. Kegler in between two guys, can't go. Bounce pass into Fallon. Ball gets taken away by Hale. Fed ahead, Williams. He'll drive with the right hand and put that one up off the glass. And the game is all tied up again at 24 apiece. Fallon behind the back. Stops his dribble. Now needs help. Kicks it out. McCullum over there on the far side. Goes back to Micah. Micah looking at the top of the key. Against Hale, trying to drive in. Gets double teamed. Tries to throw a pass. Gets blocked. He slaps it over to Kegler, who puts up a shot. Won't go. Fallon McKeon with the rebound. He'll put it back up. And Austin tried to get the tap in, then had to get the full rebound to get it to go. And a whistle on the other end.
Fouls on number 24, Alec Kegler, his second.
Kegler picks up the foul, fourth foul.
Number 11, Titus Brown.
Titus Brown checks in now for Roane State. Walter State will inbound. They'll go into Barker. Kicks it out Weddle. Weddle goes out to Hale. 5 minutes and some change left to go here first half in a low-scoring first half. Five seconds. Haynes turns around, partially blocked. Rebound, Williams. He'll put it off the glass.
Devontae Williams.
.26 all. Brown gets one tapped away by Haynes. Gets it back to McCullum, who he was going to the first time. McCullum with a high off the glass shot. Picks up two. .425 left to go. Hale drives in. Fade away. Jumper, no good. Tipped out. Weddle gets the rebound. Feeds it back out to Hale. 15 on the shot clock. Going to go around. Gets the screen, goes to the glass. The shot up, no good. Grabbed by Titus Brown, and Titus will bring it down for Roane State. Titus, really good moves, quick, got good hands, and he traveled. Walter State will bring it down, 28-26, Roane State out front. Coach Carlisle not happy right now with this team, the way they're playing. Roane State got to be pretty impressed with their play here tonight. Like I said, they didn't show up at the beginning of the Chattanooga game, but came back and won that game Tuesday night. Turnaround by Barker in the lane, puts up the shot, he gets fouled. And it's going to go against
13,
McKeon.
Austin McKeon is first, team fifth. At the line shooting 2, number 24, Destin Barker.
Barker will go to the line to shoot 2. No points on the board yet tonight. First opportunity for Destin from the stripe. Very tight game here being played between these two squads, which we expected. Veem checks back in and Titus Brown checks out. Second one is good by Barker as well. He's tied the game 28 apiece. 3.5 to go. Quickly down to the other end. McCullum racing down. Turnaround, fade away for 2, and it'll drop down for McCullum. McCullum showing up again tonight. 13 points already here in the first half with 3:16 left to go. 2-point lead for the Raiders. Driving, bounce pass underneath. Barker can't go. Kicks it back out. Williams, whistle. I believe whistle was either a step out or a travel, one or the other. Carlisle asking the referee what happened there, but I believe that's what it was. He'd stepped out and then stepped back in. And they're going to call McKeon for the charge there.
Fouls on number 13, Austin McKeon is second, team 6, player control foul.
30-28 with under 3 to play here in favor of Roane State. First half action. Walter State trying to hold on to the 1 seed here. With a win, they assure themselves the 1. They and the Lady Senators already assuring themselves the 1 seed tonight with a win. Will take on Roane State again. And if Walter State wins this one, if Roane State wins on Saturday, they will see Roane State again on Tuesday. Otherwise, they will see Chattanooga.
Fouls on number 15. Tyler Haynes, his third personal foul.
Haynes picks up his 3rd foul.
At the line shooting 3.
And shooting 3 now will be Jalen McCullum as he was outside the arc. And he nails the first one. 31-28. 32-28.
Entering the ball game for Roane State, number 10.
Agath going to check in for Tyler Haynes. Juwan Moore checking in for Jacob Naylor right now. 33-28 is the score. And 16 points now for McCullum. He had big points the other night as well. McCullum's done very well lately coming off the bench. There's a bad pass stolen by Micah. He's going to drive, and he's going to jam one home. Micah Fallon with a big jam. Micah goes up over the top, 35-28 now. Roane State with a 7-point lead. Driving in and a block there by McKeon. Are they going to get him, though, for the foul? Yes, they are.
Number 13, Austin
His
McKeon,
third.
His third personal foul. Team foul number 7.
7th foul.
At the line shooting 2, number 24, Destin Barker.
Barker's going to go up, shoot 2. And miss.
Entering the ballgame for Roane State, number 12, Elijah Cobb.
Cobb checks in. McKeon will sit down probably for the rest of the half. So they got to hope Elijah can hold up. Barker makes the second one. 35-29, 6-point lead. $1:55 left to go. Cobb quickly Moore. They'll play Elijah out front unless he has to. McCullum from deep 3, off the mark, no good. Coming in to try to grab that rebound, just a little late. Devontae Williams pulls it down. He stops in the lane. Drives with a little right-handed move there.
Devontae Williams.
Williams has got 8 points in the game for Walter State. And they get it within 4. Micah Fallon for the 2, shot up no good. He was just outside the lane. Barker, Hale racing in between everybody, and should be calling a jump ball, and they do. Micah Fallon ties up Hale coming through the lane. It'll go to Walter State, or Roane State. They have possession. And Cobb feeds it over to Juwan Moore. Fallon spins, gets hooked by Williams.
Fouls on number 5, Devontae Williams, his first. Team 7. At the line shooting.
Both teams are in the bonus right now. Thompson's going to check in for Williams. Micah Fallon is going to go to the line. Micah with 5 points in the game tonight. Make it 6. And that one is good as well. 37-31. Micah Fallon with 2 from the stripe with a buck left to go here in the first half. A 6-point lead for Roane State. Down low, Goff trying to go against Elijah. Can't get in. Elijah, great defense. That time got turned around. Shot up by Goff and missed. Elijah fed ahead Veen. Veen, Fallon backs out. Kicks it out to Veen in the corner. They were trying to set up a nice 3-ball shot. Couldn't do it. Moore, Fallon. And outside here, McCullum back into Veen. Veen going to back his guy in. Turn around, sends it across. Elijah sets up for 3. Back off the rim. No good. Barker with the rebound. "12 seconds on the clock." You hear the coach yelling out the last play before the half. Go to Weddle. He'll back out and drop in 2. And Jermize will end the half with a nice 2-point shot there. A 4-point lead, though, for Roane State. We have completed 20 in the first half. We'll come back in a little while. We'll have more basketball for you coming up right here on JockJive.com.
Fans, today's sophomore day. Continue to the 4-year level. Number 10, Blair Schultz. Been escorted by Shannon and Shelley Schultz. She holds some records here at Walter State. 5th career 3 points, 8th career 3-point percentage, and 25th in season steals. Number 14, Matayla Goins. She's being escorted by Tana Goins, or Tina. She plans to continue at a 4-year level. Akiriana Steverson. She's being escorted by Quan Jackson and Shakira Steverson. And after Walter State, she plans on going to 4-year level. Quintera Mitchell. She's being escorted by Tara Steele. She's in the record books. She's 9th for season 2-point field goal percentage and 10th in career 2-point field goal percentage. Madison McCoy. She's being escorted by Max McCoy and Krista Blossom. And she has taken a new school record, first in career free throw percentage. And she is 5th in season free throw percentage. Haley Comer. She's being escorted by Brian Comer. Her plans after Walter State is continue to the 4-year level. And number 45, Kiara Hill. She's being escorted by Kieran and Quanika Hill. And after Walter State, she moves on to the 4-year level. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 sophomores.
They were doing the sophomores tonight for Walter State. All the girls coming out and getting their awards and their pictures. We're at halftime here. Roane State right now with the lead, 37-33 in the men's game. Let's take a look at what's going on. First off, for Roane State, good game tonight for Jalen McCullum. Leads the team with 16 points on the night, 7 points for Micah Fallon. 3 for Elijah Cobb, 4 for Austin McKeon, 5 off the bench for Matt Bean, and 2 for Alec Kegler. In the first half, they shot 44.8% from the floor, 4 of 10 from the three-point line, and they were 7 of 7 from free throw line. On the other side, Walter State is being led by Devontae Williams with 8 points, 7 points for Demarius Boyd, 5 for Sly Thompson, 4 points for Tyler Haynes, 3 for Destin Barker, and Weddle, Agoth, and Gary Smith Jr. all with 2. Personal fouls right now. The only one in trouble is Austin McKeon with 3 for Roane State. In the first half, Walter State shot 13 of 34 from the field for 38.2%. First half from behind the three-point line, 2 of 10, just 20%. And from the stripe, they were at 5 of 8 for 62.5. Roane State leads this one, and they are points in the paint, 16-14. Points off turnovers, Roane State 4, Walters 11. Second chance points, Roane State 7, Walters 9. They both have 2 fast breaks. Bench points 7 for Roane State. Bench for Walters State 14. The score was tied 6 times throughout the first half. The lead changed 6 times. And the largest lead, Roane State by 7 in the first with 2:15 left to go. Walters was by 6 in the first with 10:28 left to go. Right now, it is Roane State by 4 at the half. We'll be back in just a little while with the second half. Stay tuned. More on the way. Make a Twitter account and let people send shit to it.
Yeah.
So 37-33 is our score here at the half. And I just disappointed tonight, to be honest. Not in this. In general, with why we can't get scores from around the league. And I don't understand it. I mean, with all the technology we have and all the abilities that we have, the TCCAA just needs to put up a Twitter page and let the folks send in the scores. Have somebody watch it. Have somebody that's taken computer classes at college kind of be the administrator of the page. I don't think it's that difficult. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I shouldn't be asking at all, but it just would, like tonight, this is a big deal. I mean, we're talking about 1, 2, 3 seeds, 4 seeds, whether they're in or whether they're not, whether they're watching, whether they're waiting. It all makes a difference, and it just would be so easy to get this put up on the page. It's not on the home page. It's not on the TCCAA website. Some of the scores get put up. Why don't the others? That's my question. So maybe it's a question that'll get answered. I don't know. Anyway, we are set to go here for the second half of the action. If you missed the first game, Walters State came back and won that first game after losing 32-31 at halftime. They were down by a point. They came back in the third quarter, took the lead 52-41, then they never looked back. They won the game 72-56. Those two teams will match up here next Tuesday night at 5:30 in the first regional round of playoffs. We'll have the game for you right here on JockJive.com. Now these two teams are going to battle here for the second half with Roane State out front, Walters State with the ball to start. Moving the ball around, long throw there. Sly Thompson holds on, but then stepped out, and Hale just threw it away. And Coach Carlisle out of the seat now, yelling at his team to get going, and then we get another step out there. Cobb will inbound. Cobb, Fallon, Naylor, McKeon, McCullum. Hale, Thompson, Boyd, Haynes, and Barker. Starting five again for Walters State. Over the top, they're looking for the jam, and there it is by Elijah Cobb on the alley-oop. You knew it was going to come sooner or later. 39-33, what a play from Fallon. On the other end, trying to just push one up is Barker, and McCullum, I believe, going to pick up the foul.
Foul's on number 35, Jalen McCullum, his first, team first.
So at the line will go Destin Barker, who is 3 of 4 tonight. Now missing that one. Now 3 of 5. And now 4 of 6. So he gets 1 out of 2. 39-34 is our score, 5-point lead with 19 minutes to play here in the second half. Cobb quickly, McKeon wide open underneath was McCullum, and he didn't see him early enough. McKeon going to try 3, and he nailed it. Austin McKeon, the big man, with a 3 ball. And an 8-point lead now for Roane State. Now Walters State has to go to work. They want that 1 seed. Got to get this game. Off the glass, a little too hard. Rebound, Elijah, fed ahead. Fallon going to race down. Fakes one way, goes up with the left hand, a little short. Missed it, knows it, had an opportunity, got rushed. Hale going to drive in, tries to go up. It's swatted away by Cobb as he went up in the air, but
Foul's on number 35, Jalen McCullum.
McCullum picks up number 2.
At the line shooting 2, number 1, Quan Hale.
Quan Hale coming to the line. He'll get 2 opportunities here. Shot up is good. Gets 1 more opportunity. 42-35 is the score right now.
Entering the ball game, number 5, Devontae Williams.
Thompson comes out. Devontae Williams comes in. Shot is good. Hale with just 2 points tonight. The other night, he lit it up pretty good. He had 5 threes to start the game. There's a bad pass that goes into the hands of Demarius Boyd. He takes it and puts up 2 quickly.
Demarius Boyd.
And it's a 4-point game. McKeon driving in, feeds it out. Naylor looking for 3. He got his first 3 ball. Jacob buries that 3. And back to a 7-point lead. They can feed him and get him open for threes. He is deadly. This guy is too when he gets on it. Boyd, he missed it. Tip, tip, tip. Still on the floor. Picked up by Haynes. And they'll go outside to Boyd and reset the clock to 12. Under 10 now. Barker inside, feeding. Haynes turn around. Little sky hook missed. Ball fought for on the floor. Picked up. Can't get it out of there. McKeon takes it out of the hands of Barker, then throws it away. It's tipped out and stays with Walter State, even though they're asking why wasn't he whistled when he was out of bounds. They're saying he was not on the floor out of bounds. So Walter State ball again. Hale quickly. Boyd going to drive in. Tried to go over the top of McKeon with that shot. Missed it. Cobb with the rebound. Feeds it ahead. Fallon racing down. Jacob again from outside for 3. Look out. Here he comes. He can knock him down. He's deadly from that point. And Bill Carlisle saying, nope, no. You're not going to get that far out. Full timeout. Walter State will be back. Stay tuned. .38-38 is the score right now, and you're reading that correctly. That is Roane State out front here. And I apologize. That's supposed to say second half. There we go. My apologies. I forgot to click that. Anyway, as they put the time on the clock, Jacob Naylor with 2 3 balls in the last few seconds. With 17 minutes to go, though, it's a 10-point game. It's still anybody's game. Don't go away. This is going to get good. Last time these two teams played to an overtime that Walter State won in the last seconds. Hale, long throw, Weddle. Coach made a couple of changes while on the bench. Lost the ball into the hands of Jacob Naylor. Bothered, feeds it ahead, taken away Williams. Williams going to drive. It's going to take Naylor down, and he is going to get charged with the foul. So Williams picks up his second foul. Player control foul as he runs over Jacob Naylor, and Elijah will inbound to Fallon. Fallon back to Elijah. Elijah quickly bounce past McKeon. Naylor tied up again with Devontae Williams. And he's going to get nailed again. That is his third foul, 2 back-to-back. Carlisle wants said he was on top of the ball, so. Naylor inbound, Fallon wide open in the corner, just sitting there. Takes the shot, no good. Rebound, Justin Barker. Williams driving, shot up is good for 2. He's got 10 points in the game. He's keeping Walter State in the game, but he's got 3 fouls he's playing with. And then the push off on Cobb as he shoves Hale to the floor. Elijah will step out. Veen will step in, and Sly Thompson will check in. And I'm going to guess that Devontae is going to come out with the 3 fouls. 16 minutes to play, 8-point lead. Hale. Tyler driving, missed it. Barker, and a jump ball called or a foul called, one or the other.
That was on number 21, Matt Veen.
Oh, they're going to call Veen.
Team 4.
Underneath the basket, no shot foul. Bounce pass, Haynes in the lane, turnaround, goes back to his left side, and goes up off the glass for 2. Haynes picks up 2 for Walter State. A little more pressure being put on by the Walter State defense now. Roane State finally breaks it. They get it down in. They go Fallon in the corner at the baseline. He's double teamed. Back out here, Jacob Naylor fakes over, goes over to the other side. Veen now in the corner, drives the lane, kicks it out. Jacob shooting for 3 from the near side, miss. Tipped out, comes into the hands of McCullum. McCullum fakes, comes up into the lane, puts a 2-pointer up. Missed it, knocked down, ball on the floor, battled for. McKeon grabs it. Stays with Roane State. Got a little testy down there. Even some of the audience members were saying things. Jacob looking around, timeout. He calls, can't get it in. Smart move. Would have got the 5-second call on him. So, quick timeout here. We'll take it as well. We'll come back. Stay tuned.
Timeout.
$15-20 left to go here in the game. A 6-point game in favor right now of Roane State, and they've got the ball. Jacob Naylor to inbound here. Two referees are chatting about something. They haven't killed the music yet either. Carlisle was asking about something, and apparently now we're ready to go. They'll throw it long. Jalen McCullum in the backcourt to Matt Veen. Veen over to Fallon. Fallon and McKeon back. Around the horn they go. McCullum going to take it for 3. It's off the mark. Tip out and tipped out. And out of bounds it goes off the hands of Hale. It'll stay with Roane State. Juwan Moore going to check in for Micah Fallon. Moore in the corner. They're looking around. They'll go deep into Matt Veen. Veen pulls it down. Feeds over Moore from the side for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound, Barker. Barker feeds it ahead to Hale. Hale quickly down. Sly Thompson driving baseline underneath. Got too far. Kicks it back out into the corner. Weddle out to the top of the key, and Hale will call out the play. Drives into the lane. Goes to go up. Lost the ball, and it's out of bounds. Carlisle wanting a foul again. Sitting here right in the referee's ear, but he's not going to get the whistle. Juwan Moore. You can hear he's not happy with that referee, that's for sure. McKeon outside Veen. Veen for 3, and Matt's got 3 more. 51-42, and The lead is now back up to 9 points for Roane State. Into the corner, Weddle, Hale, Thompson, Haynes in the middle, back out. Weddle for three from the corner, off the mark, no good. Rebound, McCullum. Tipped away from him, stolen by Barker, fed back in to Sly Thompson, who gets hit in the mouth area as he's going up by Juwan Moore.
His first, team number 5.
Fifth foul against the Raiders. 14 minutes to play. Inbound, Tyler Haynes tipped out of his hands. Racing down, Jacob Naylor. Slows down, waits for help. Looking across court, didn't find it. Comes back out, top of the key, McKeon. Feeds over Moore. Jacob from deep land for three. In and out, no good. The tip from McKeon almost went back in, and then a bump out by Veen on Haynes.
That was number 21, Matt Veen, his third personal foul.
Veen picks up his third. He and McKeon now with three each. And in trouble there. 9-point lead for Roane State. Walter State still sitting at 42 points here in the second half. Lost the ball, trying to go up was Weddle. Veen lost it on the floor, picks it up, flips it back to McKeon. Wide open at the other end, but he didn't have enough room to throw it over there. Moore, McCullum now sitting there. And he travels as he's getting ready to go take off to go to the hoop. Slipped, I think, on the floor there. I think there's a little moisture there, maybe. They don't have the towels to dry it up, though, like the big basketball courts do. I've always said they needed the mops. 51-42 is your score. A 9-point lead as both teams up and down the court so far haven't been able to get anything going. Here's Haynes trying to go up. He'll be grabbed, and they're going to get McKeon. And Austin is going to pick up his fourth. That is going to be the 7th team foul, and already in the bonus will be Roane State.
At the line shooting 2, number 15, Tyler Haynes.
Haynes will shoot 2, gets the first one.
Entering the ball game, number 24, Alec Kegler.
Kegler will check in. McKeon will sit down for a while here. Unfortunately, that's a big loss for Roane State. Losing one of their big men there. He's done a fine job at that point. And Haynes misses the second one, but grabbed by Hale. Turnaround, puts it back up. The tip in by Weddle won't go. Haynes gets his own and goes up and gets 2. So he ends up with a 3-point play out of it. And it's back to a 6-point ball game. From deep three, Jacob Naylor knocks it down again, his third one. 54-45. In the lane for 2 is Haynes.
Tyler Haynes.
He's in double digits now. 54-47, 12 minutes to go. Kegler, Jacob again. Oh, back iron, no good. Rebound, Barker pulling it down. Weddle kicks it over to Hale. Driving is Haynes, the blocking foul. He'll get the 2 and the 1.
Tyler Haynes. Foul on number 35, Jalen McCullum, his third.
McCullum with 3, Veen with 3, and McKeon with 4. 8 fouls now on Roane State. Cobb's going to check in as McCullum sits down. 15 points right now for Tyler Haynes, trying to get his 16th right here, and will. It's now a 4-point game. Roane State up by 4. Cobb quickly, Veen from outside for 3. Off the mark, Cobb right there for the rebound. Up easily off the glass for Elijah. 7 points for Cobb. 56-50. Weddle and Hale. Hale going to go left side, can't get in. Too many blue jerseys. They go out front, Haynes. Thompson, Weddle, 7 seconds on the shot clock, drives into the paint. Ball stolen by Alec Kegler. Kegler racing down against Haynes. Stops, feeds left hand, and it's good.
Alec Kegler.
Excuse me, 58-50. Trying to pass down underneath, and Sly Thompson trying to go for Destin Barker, and that ball thrown away. Williams will check in, and Weddle will check out for Walters State. Ball stays with Walters State. Apparently the ball was tipped. They'll go back, Thompson. Weddle in the corner. Sees Barker down in the lane. Barker goes up, gets partially blocked by Elijah Cobb. Cobb with a great block, and then the long throw. Naylor flips one over to Veen, who's standing down underneath. Shot up, no good. Boy, Jacob just barely got rid of that one. Man, that was quick. Then Veen gets trampled in the middle of the court. Blocked from Elijah Cobb. This time, Devontae Williams goes up, won't go. And then we get a whistle underneath. Boy, they are letting them bang. Coach Nesbitt got off, and he started screaming, and then he started to apologize.
Fouls on number 2, Jacob.
Excuse me.
Team number 9 at the line shooting 2, number 5, Devontae Williams.
Williams going to shoot 2 for Walters State as he gets fouled by Jacob Naylor. Williams is good.
Entering the ballgame, number 4, Demarius Boyd.
So Boyd going to come back in. Remember, he injured that ankle, and Micah Fallon going to come in for Jawan Moore. 58-51. (58-52).
Timeout, Walters State.
Walters State, timeout, full timeout. We'll take it and come back. Stay tuned. (58-52), Roan State with a 6-point lead, but in foul trouble right now with a few guys on their squad. Plus, they have already put Walters State into the bonus with 9 fouls whistled against them here. Halfway through the second half, 10 minutes left on the clock here, and a 6-point lead, Roan State basketball, 58-52. Cobb, Fallon, Naylor out front. Kegler, Veen in the backcourt, or in the down court. Kegler gets that one in the lane, drives up against the big man Barker, who blocks it and takes it away from him. Racing down is Boyd. Looks like the ankle's okay. Goes up, makes the shot for 2.
Demarius Boyd.
Boyd now with double-digit figures. He's got 11. Here's Cobb. Feeds in. Jacob, turnaround, fade away, and Jacob Naylor knocks down 2.
Jacob Naylor.
60-54, 9:30 to go. Now both teams will start scoring, and the scoreboard will start to light up a little more, and it's, I think, who's going to have the last opportunity, really. It's been that way before. Boyd Over the top, following through, though, is Devontae Williams on the other side to grab it and put it back up over the top. Here's Cobb. Fallon over the top, shoots, no good. Rebound, Boyd. Boyd gets into the lane, then kicks it back out. Hale will set things up for Walter State. Hale will drive, feed it over. Williams, he'll drive into everybody, get blocked. The ball will go out of bounds as he lost it, and he went down hard as he got hit by Alec Kegler. Williams will come out of the game, and coming into the game will be Deng Agoff.
Number 21, Deng Agoff.
Long throw down. Picked up by Hale. He'll bring it back up the other way. Agoff into Haynes, who gets tripped in the lane, traveling, falling backwards, and he is helped up. I'm telling you, slippage is going on. I don't know what it's from, but something happened there. 8.5 minutes to go, a 4-point game in favor of Roane State right now. Micah Fallon with the basketball. Tipped out of there, Hale. Veen held it out for him. Hale races down, right side, missed. Rebound to Goff, trying to put it back up, gets fouled. Veen going to pick up the foul. That is going to be 4 on him. 4 on McKeon, 4 on Veen, 3 on McCullum. They are in trouble with their big men. Goff going to go to the line to shoot. First one is good. Deng gets in the scoreboard. McCullum going to check back in. He's got 3 fouls. And Goff has got his first point of the night. And he misses the second one. Rebound, Cobb. 3-point game right now. Fallon feeds it back, Kegler. Turnaround in the lane, and Jacob Naylor just a little short, usually right on the money with those shots. Here's a Goff. Feeds out front, Hale. Boyd going to drive in, stop at the stripe, put up the shot, missed it, tipped out. Fallon into the hands of Hale. Feeding back in, Haynes lost it, feeds it to Boyd for 2. It's a 1-point game. Jacob Naylor back here on the outside wing. Feeds over to Fallon, then gets it back, fakes the 3, goes up, gets the 2, and knocks it down.
Jacob Naylor.
Stolen by Fallon on a long pass down to Haynes. Jacob Naylor with the ball in the lane, gets fouled as he's going up for 2. And Hale will pick up the foul. And Jacob will get a couple of shots here. So he'll go to the line. 62-59 in favor of Roane State. Naylor at the line for 2. First one rolls the rim and falls through. Second one off the mark, spun out. Rebound pulled down Barker. 4-point game. 63-59, under 7 to go here in the game. Goff with a right-handed sky hook for 2. Cobb in the lane, drives, kicks it out. In the corner, Fallon for 3. Off the mark, no good. Barker with the big board. Huge board there for Walter State. Opportunity to tie it up or get the lead with a 3. Driving is Boyd. Got underneath too far, but Barker grabs the board and puts it up.
Justin Barker.
All tied up, 63 apiece now. And we're at the 6-minute mark. Here's Cobb racing in the lane. He'll go all the way for 2. And Elijah with a nice bucket.
Elijah Cobb. Entering the ballgame, 13, Austin McKeon.
And Elijah Cobb just went out of the game with an injury as Cobb goes out. Not sure what happened, but the referee called for it. Timeout for Walters State. And it is a 30. (65-63) in favor of Roane State. 5:49 left to go in the game. Again, Roane State with the win knocks Walters State out of the number 1 seed. And Motlow will take it over. Walters will get the 2, and then the 4 and the 5 will meet this weekend. That is Roane State and Chattanooga at Roane State, 3 o'clock Saturday. I'll have coverage for you right here on JockJive.com on the Roane State Network. Join me at 3 p.m. for that one as the play-in game to begin for the men's side. McKeon back in the ball game. Jacob Naylor out top. Backs out with 15 on the clock. McCullum from Kegler. McCullum going to drive. Put it up, no good. Rebound, kicks off the glass. Barker fed it ahead. Boyd racing down in between everybody. Up off the glass for Demarius Boyd. What a play by Demarius Boyd. Nicely done. He ties the ball game with 5 minutes left to go here. We've been here before with these two squads. They do this all the time, all the way down to the end. It is no different than the first time they went to overtime. Jacob fakes it and then goes, and they're going to call Hale.
His second.
Four fouls on Roane State, 11 now, and doesn't matter anymore on Walters because they're put Roane in the bonus already at 10. So they don't add any more up. Fallon takes it down to 9 seconds, feeding Jacob Naylor. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's last touched by Hale. 7 seconds left to go now on this one. McCullum racing in, kicks it out for 3. Kegler, no good. Rebound, Micah Fallon somewhere underneath in all of that. Pulls it out of there and puts up 2. 67-65. I don't know where he was down amongst the trees down there, but he's able to sneak in there. Here's a Goff, feeds down underneath Barker. He's going to go up off the glass. Tied up, 67. Under 4 to play. Fallon. And a whistle and a travel. Wow, McCullum does, Alec Kegler does that a lot. Whistled for the travel. .345 and counting. Hale brings it down court. He's got a Goff, Haynes, Barker, and Boyd who has the ball right now. Go to their big man down in the corner, bothered by the Raiders, Alec Kegler. Haynes gives it back. 6 seconds on the clock. Boyd pulls up, jumper up, no good. The rebound and the pushback by Agoff didn't go. Quickly the other end as McCullum slips, turns, falls. Blocking foul is going to be called on Boyd. Wow. Hale got a little loud over there. The referee looking at him, but they're going to call Boyd for the foul.
Entering the ballgame for Roane State, number 12, Elijah Cobb.
Cobb's going to check back in. Seems to be okay. He's got that tape on that left ankle. Gets jammed in the middle of there, trying to get through. They'll go outside McKeon. Elijah tried to go with the ball, lost it, picked up by Haynes in the middle, feeds Boyd. Boyd going to go around left-handed off the glass. Boy, he is good when he goes to the glass like that. Really good. Walter State with their first lead in quite a while, 69-67 now. Remember, Roane State had a double-digit lead for a while. Trying to get it back with a 3-ball, and he will. Wow. Jacob Naylor with his 4th 3 of the night gets the lead back by 1. Boy, this game looks so similar to game number 1. Here's Hale. Boyd. Looking around. Agoff. Inside Haynes. Back out Boyd. 10. Boyd drives in the lane. Pops the jumper for 2. Demarius Boyd right now with 19 points tonight for Walter State and a 1-point lead. Timeout being whistled.
Timeout, Roane State, 30-second timeout.
Yeah, McKeon and Bean both with 4. 2:04 left to go here in this ball game. It's a 1-point lead for Walter State. They have not had the lead very many times tonight. They have a 1-point lead here. Roane State in a little bit of foul trouble right now. McKeon with 4, Bean with 4, and McCullum with 3. And Elijah playing on a sore ankle gets the ball on the inbound from Jacob. Jacob kicks it out. McKeon outside for 3. Overshot everything. Gets tipped and knocked out of bounds by Walter State, though, with 1:57 left to go. Both Agoff and the big man Barker going up together. Jacob will inbound now. Timeout being called by the referee to check on something. Long throwback. Here's Micah Fallon. Micah will kick it off to Elijah. Elijah back to Micah. Micah will drive in. Turn around. Throws up a right-hander. Won't go. McKeon with the rebound. Bothered. Double-teamed in the trap. Kicks it out. Cobb down underneath into the big man himself with a 2. Nicely done. That was Alec Kegler actually with the 2, not McCullum. McCullum not out on the floor right now. Turnaround for Haynes, blocked by Cobb. Ball on the floor, scramble, and the possession arrow points to Walter State. But they're going to call a foul on Elijah Cobb.
Foul is on number 12, Elijah Cobb.
So 5 fouls now for Roane State. 72-71. They call the foul on Cobb, and at the line shooting 2 is Agoff, who was 1 of 2 last time up there. In and out. Ouch. Boy, when you need the free throws. Got that one. So he's tied the game at 72 apiece with $1:21 left to go. Here we go, like I said, last team with the basketball. A shot of defense from the bench. Driving in is Kegler underneath. He missed it. He gets the second one to go, and he gets fouled. It's 74-72 and the and one. Destin Barker picks up the foul. And now Kegler can make this very interesting. A timeout being called, full timeout. Probably better for them because they beat Monroe badly last time. And they beat Chattanooga, so they could actually get back here on Thursday if Walton beats Cleveland. But if Cleveland's beat Walton a couple times, then it would go to Cleveland. No, it would go to Cleveland.
So they beat us last time.
74-72. This one's going to get interesting. We've got 69 seconds left to play here. Alec Kegler is at the line for an and one. One timeout left for Walter State. 4 timeouts left for ROANE State. So Kegler will get the opportunity for the and one here.
One shot, basket is good.
Basket was good, 74-72. One shot here. Kegler gets it. 75-72. Here we go. Down to a minute left to play. Trying to find Boyd room to get a three, and he's bothered by a couple of guys. Ball on the floor, tied up, stolen by Elijah Cobb. Racing down is Fallon. He'll get rambunctious and fouled, even though Kwan Hale is saying he got punched in the mouth, but they're going to call it on Hale.
That was on number 1, Kwan Hale.
That is his third.
Correction, third.
And now Micah Fallon goes to the line,
Number 7.
setting up even bigger point spread here. Right now it's a 3-point spread. Fallon at the line, and he missed it. Rebound is Barker. Goff, Hale, Goff. Boyd going to drive in, spins into the lane, gets fouled, going to the bucket.
Fouls on number 2, Jacob Naylor, his third.
Naylor picks up his third foul. To the line, shooting
At the line,
2
shooting 2. Number 4,
is Demarius Boyd. His first opportunity, believe it or not, tonight to the line. He's got 19 points already, make it 20.
Entering the ball game, number 2.
Sly Thompson's going to check back in for Deng Agoth, who will take a seat. And they're going to move a couple of the big guys out. They'll put Thompson and Hale in between the big guys for ROANE State. And the shot is up and good. It is now a 1-point game, 75-74. Kopp throws inbound, Jacob Naylor. 36 on the clock and counting. Fallon down. Kegler going to drive. Shot up on the glass. Bucket is good, and the and one. Wow, big moment for Alec Kegler. Goes to the glass for 2. 77-74. Thompson picks up the foul. And the ROANE State bench was happy about that one. That was a really nice play by Kegler. Even with the 2 fouls, he goes hard to the glass, knocks down the 2 and the and one, and now it is a 4-point lead for ROANE State with 28 left to go. Thompson looking for the deep three. Off the glass, no good. McKeon with the rebound. It's slapped out of his hand and out of bounds. And it'll be Roane State basketball. Timeout, though, blue is what they're saying, so we'll take the timeout. And it is a full timeout. We'll be back. It has been an interesting night. 78-74. Roane State comes in here. Maybe a little revenge tonight because remember last time this went overtime and Walter State stole that game from them. At the end, Roane State had the lead and then lost it. And it was tied up at the end of regulation. And then Roane State had the lead in overtime and Walter State got a couple of great plays and turned around and took it and won the game on the last second shot. Right now, the last second shot was a 2 and 1 for Roane State. Would put them up 78-74, and now they will inbound here with Elijah Cobb. He's going to throw the long ball to Fallon, who goes back court. Races around, gets grabbed, and they're going to call the foul on Sly Thompson.
Foul's on number 2, Sly Thompson.
That'll send Fallon to the stripe. He missed his last opportunity.
1+1, number 5, Micah Fallon.
1 and 1 for Micah. Technical foul on Kwan Hale.
His fourth.
And that's his fourth.
Team number 10.
And he said something stupid again, and that's the second time we've seen guys from Walter State run their mouth, and you just can't do it. Now you actually give the other team an opportunity to just take everything away from you. No opportunity. Just dumb. And I know people are probably thinking that's not right for me to say, but it is. It's just dumb. You have to control yourself in the game. And he did not. And now you get another 1+1. Now it's a 6-point lead with 18.9. And even if you start to foul like crazy, you're not going to get enough at the line, and you got to hope they miss everything. Fallon misses again. Walters comes down. Boyd looking for the long three. Bounces off the glass. Grabbed by McKeon. Flipped out ahead. Cobb, he gets fouled.
Foul is on number 4, Demarius Boyd, his second.
Boyd picks up the foul, and Cobb will go to the line. Elijah 9 points tonight. This could put him in double figures for the amount of time he's been on the court tonight. Good to see him back. We'll set it all up for you after the game. What's going to happen? And Cobb makes the first one of 2.
Ball game number 35, Jalen McCullum.
82-74. Racing down is Boyd. 3 seconds to go. Puts up the shot for 3 and knocks it down.
Demarius Boyd for 3.
And that's going to be it, folks. That is going to be the final. Roane State's going to come in here and knock Walter State out of the chance to be the number 1 seed. They will still host. They will host as the 2 seed, though. Here's how this is going to set up now. Because of this loss here, this is what it looks like. First off, Roane State is going to host at home on Saturday at 3 p.m. They are the 4 seed. They will play Chattanooga State. That game will be at 3 p.m. That is a play-in game. Then the winner moves on now to play at Motlow. And that game will be on Tuesday, the 6th. And now Cleveland and Walter State will battle here, most likely. We didn't get a score from Chattanooga yet, but if Cleveland won that game, they should be the 3 seed. And then we'll wait and see. But that is Walter State still going to host on Tuesday. They'll host a women's game and a men's game. The winner of the ROANE game in the men's side will travel to Motlow. And then the Cleveland team will be here most likely to take on Walter State next Tuesday. And then the winners from Tuesdays will play on Thursday at the higher seed. The championships will play out April the 10th. They'll be at Vol State. And we will have both of those games for you on jockjive.com at 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Once again, a final big win here tonight for Roane State. They come out on top. 82-77 is your final. I'm Chuck Sebastian for jockjive.com. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everybody.